Hi Cancer, welcome to your reading, and this is a reading for Cancer Sun, Moon and Rising for March 2021. Cancer, I'm sorry for delaying this reading. I delayed for all the zodiacs, but I've been super busy in the month of February, so I'm only now being able to record all these videos. So I already got your cards in the pre-shuffle and we can jump straight into it. And we open up with the card that represents you, that represents your energy now in the month of March. And we have the moon. For some readers, this is a card of Cancer. I usually connect this more with Pisces, but it is a fellow water sign for you. And all water signs are very intuitive, but I feel like this month you are connecting more with that very subconscious intuition. I mean, intuition is always subconscious in a level, but I do think that as we move up from Cancer to Scorpio to Pisces, it becomes more and more subconscious, and to the point that it's unconscious in Pisces. It really happens within, and we just get that spark of insight. It's a spark of intuition, and we let things flow through us. This is the image that I'm having right now. I'm channeling an image that you, as a cardinal sign, you put the intuition out, you express the emotion from inside out. Okay, while Scorpio, as a fixed sign, it goes in and it observes in there without pulling in or out. And Pisces just allows the intuition to pass through you. It allows it to pass through you like a current, and you get the feeling, you feel from it. So it's almost as if I felt this as a mist running through you, passing through you, and you just get the image afterwards, you just get the intuition afterwards. But for that you need to allow it to move through you. So this is a month of allowance, allowing things to flow, letting go of control, letting go of expectations, letting go of the outcome. Is a month of surrender, and surrendering to your own emotions, letting them move through you freely without controlling them, without I think that's the best word actually that I can use, without controlling them. It's just allowing the intuition to work through you, being a channel for it, okay, instead of using it. You let it run through you. It's a weird image that I'm getting, but I'm trying to express it the best way that I can, because many times when I channel with a feeling, and to put these feelings into words can be a bit difficult. But I see this is not a month for emotional mastery. It's not a month to control your feelings, to control your thoughts. It's a month of just experiencing it, letting them move from outside to the inside and then out again, and not attaching to any of it. There is this quality of detachment of the situation, and especially from what you feel. Not let yourself be moved or motivated by what you feel, just experiencing the feelings for the sake of the experience. Let's see how it connects with your environment. So for your environment, the people around you, the situations around you, we have the King of Wands. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Okay, that's a very nice combination. Because what I said in the beginning with the spark of creativity, it's almost like you work as this passive channel for the energy, and the environment is the active channel. You don't take on the work of doing something. The environment is doing that. You're just allowing the situation to express through you. So I think that this is sounding very vague, so I'm going to try to put it in a more concrete example here for you. And what I mean with this is, let's say that you're trying to manifest something. Let's say that you're trying to achieve something here. With the environment as the King of Wands and you as the moon, I don't see you taking on the job of building it with your own hands. I see it as you allowing things around you to unfold in a way that you manifest it, you still get what you want, but by being open to receive it, by being open to let the situation happen instead of controlling it and working on it yourself. So that's what I mean with it. And if I can make a very specific example, and I know that it won't be for all of you, okay? But let's say that you have been looking for a new job, and then it's a month in which you stop looking for it, and you let recruiters contact you, or maybe that friend heard of an opportunity and they just come to you, or someone gives an indication of you to a company and they contact you. It's like the environment working in your favor and you're just being receptive to it. So it's a very passive role, which for a cardinal sign can be very hard. But still, I see this. I see you stepping into a position of allowing intuition to work through you instead of going after it. And the example of the job was a very specific example. It can be regarding anything in your life. But I just see this. You let the world work on it for you this month. You enter with the passive spark of creativity, and the world enters with the active spark of creativity, and then they can combine into one goal. Let's take a look at what is your challenge. So what is the challenge of this month? What you might struggle with the most? I'm stumbling on my words here a bit. Wow, as I said, we got communication. Okay, so this is your energy. And it's probably why I'm stumbling on my words, since I'm channeling your energy here. So you might struggle with communication. And it makes a lot of sense, because when I opened the reading, remember that I said I'm channeling right now through feeling, and sometimes putting it into words is hard. And the moon is this very intuitive, subconscious card that, yeah, it might be very hard for you to communicate what you want, what you need. You are communicating through your whole body, through your feeling, through energetic exchange this month. And I think that, it's a bit noisy outside today. It's been noisy the whole day. So sorry for disrupting the reading with the noise so much if you're listening to it. But here, the advice that I would give you is not force verbal communication, because the thing is, sometimes we tend to think that to communicate with someone is to speak. And it isn't always like that. Sometimes we communicate with our behavior, with our posture. Even our silence can communicate things. And it might be hard for you. Maybe you might attach to the fact that you can't put things into words, you can't put feelings into words, and it's fine. If you can't, it's fine. Just allow yourself to express what you feel in whatever way you can express in that moment. You can communicate that in other ways other than verbal, other than words. I've been reading tarot for 17 years or so, and still my intuition scares me when I'm stumbling in my words, and there is this stumbling of your words. I always find it fascinating. But in any case. Okay, so now I'm gonna do something for you that I'm doing for all the zodiacs this month, and I got a new deck, and this is a major arcana only. And the major arcana describes the fool's journey, which is the journey that we go through in our lives all the time, cycle over and over and over again, which is the beginning with the fool, so the start of a new endeavor, the start of a new cycle, how we go, how we move through it, the struggles that we have to face, and then the final outcome. And so I wanted to do for all of you is to get a card from this major arcana deck and see at what point in this fool's journey you are at this month, in the month of March. Okay? And we have the Wheel of Fortune. If I remember correctly, Cancer, I think you've been coming from some very tough months. I remember that your previous readings were quite tough. I think that last month reading was good, but before that. And it makes a lot of sense. It is a change of cycle for you. You're right in the middle of it. You're right in the middle of that journey when things start to change. And it can be hard. It can feel a bit scary. It can feel a bit disheartening. It can feel unsafe with the moon here, that you don't always know where you're going, right? And you can't really communicate how you feel. You can't really put things into words, and you just feel a bit powerless. But it's always like that when the wheel turns. And the wheel is constantly turning. But every beginning of new cycle can feel a bit scary at first. So let's take a look at your cards now. The Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Devil. Interesting. It, for me, ties a lot with what I said before of you are in a moment in which you don't put the work, right? The environment is the active principle of this manifestation process here. The Temperance, beautiful. Okay, let me connect with your cards for a second here. There's definitely a contrast between building something and allowing things to come, which I said in the beginning with the Moon and the King of Wands. I think that this position of waiting for things to come, especially since you are a cardinal sign, is very hard for you. You want to get your hands dirty. You want to move on. You want to build things. And being in this passive position of allowing things to work through you and unfold around you can be very frustrating. Can be very frustrating. But I think that this is an important process, because I think that you are still clearing out some toxic patterns and behaviors and people and situations that you have gone through. I don't see this devil as either you or someone else specifically. I see this devil here as habits, toxic habits, patterns that you need to outgrow and that you have been outgrowing. But in order, some transformation, Cancer, happens in stillness. That's what I'm getting here. Also with this Temperance right in the middle. And also with the Four of Swords. Sometimes transformation happens in stillness. It's not just about working. It's about letting the work sink in. Letting the experiences sink in into the psyche, right? Into the subconscious. Letting them sink in. And I just noticed something. Oh, yes. Don't know if you can see from the video, but there are these two fingers here, kind of blessing her. And if you look at the hand of the king, he has exactly the same position, and he also has the same ring. So it is indeed, is the environment doing the transformation on you, putting the blessings on you. And also letting it sink in into your unconscious, letting the external experiences that you had sink in into the unconscious mind, being blessed by them, and just allowing them to flow. See how perfect this is. And then you have the same thing here. It is hard for you to not be in the work of doing. It is hard for you to be in the place of receiving. You do want to build that for yourself. But again, and I think that I'm just repeating myself now, but I keep hearing these words, that transformation sometimes happens in stillness. We go through situations, we suffer them, they teach us lessons, but then it's important to have that moment of stillness afterwards, because it is in that moment that it sinks in. It just slides on our brain, on our energy, starts being absorbed by our auras in our different bodies, right? Etheric body, emotional body, mental body. Those experiences, they are going to be saved in our different bodies. And for that, you need to allow that to happen so that these patterns here can be released. So I know it's hard for you to be in the waiting position and not in the doing, but it's extremely important that you allow that to happen. Also because here in this middle, the Temperance is right in the middle of your reading, showing it again. You are still in the moment of flow. The wheel, this is interesting. The wheel right now, it's constantly spinning, right? But what I see is that when it's down, it makes a little pause there before it goes up. And when it's up, it makes a little pause before it goes down. And you are in that pause moment. And you need to embrace the pause, because the pause, the movement of the wheel is not just the movement, it's also the pause. The pause is an important part of the process of the wheel, and you are in it right now. So you need to learn how to embrace it. Embrace it to gain awareness from it, to gain knowledge, to gain experience. Whatever you have been through that caused you a lot of pain in the last year or two, right? Since we had all those planets going on in Capricorn affecting your 7th house directly. Whatever happened in the last 1 or 2 years, you're still gaining knowledge from it. You are gaining awareness from it. And only now it's becoming imprinted in your mind. Only now it's becoming imprinted in you. And I keep seeing these cards showing the frustration. Look, because the 2 cards that we have that are about waiting, they are in the reverse. The 7 of Pentacles is waiting for the harvest. The 2 of Pentacles is looking outside and wanting to go, but it's still waiting and holding back to what it has. Both cards that are about waiting in this reading, they are in the reverse, showing your impatience, showing your impatience, showing your willingness to tackle on it. And you are still being asked to embrace those more passive, receptive parts of your personality. We have the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. And I see them both as aspects of you here. I don't see them as someone else. Actually, most of the readings today, I didn't see the court cards as someone else. I saw the court cards as aspects of yourself, of the person watching. Is the part that is connected with the emotional realm, with your emotions, with how you feel things, with your emotional maturity, and the part that achieves, that builds something that is solid. But you are integrating that. You are integrating that this month. And I think that this is a beautiful process. And actually for you, even though there is a bit of resistance here, I don't see a huge struggle to do that. I feel like you are being able to allow this process to happen. But then there are some pinpointed moments of frustration, of wanting to act, but in general, I feel like you are actually managing to integrate these lessons. You are managing to connect with both sides of you. The part that is completely attuned to your emotions, since you are a water sign, a very sensitive sign, but also the part of you that is cardinal, that wants to build, something that is long lasting, that has dreams and is an achiever, that wants to go after something and nurture your plans. You're being able to combine those two parts. And look how interesting this is. It just came to my mind because for me, the King of Cups is a very, it's water, so it's feminine, right? It's a feminine energy. And it's being shown by a king. So it's the combination, the culmination of the masculine with the feminine. And then I look at the Queen of Pentacles and I think exactly the same thing. She is the achiever, she goes after it, she builds it, she's dressed in red, so she's very active, even though in astrology, earth is actually the feminine element, it's not the masculine element, but I still see this representation here as a young energy because of all the red, but it's still in a feminine form. So it's the perfect balance between yin and yang, between the passiveness and the aggressiveness, between receiving and going after. You're learning how to combine them, integrate them. And that, again, as I said, happens in silence. It's not an active effort, it's an effort of letting the lessons sink in, of absorbing and integrating them effortlessly. Or not effortlessly, but at least without an active work on it. There might still be an emotional or psychological effort to allow the process to happen, but there is no active role in letting it happen. It happens as you rest, as you let yourself rest and recover from all the changes. That's a beautiful reading for you, Cancer. I really loved it. Because I feel like this is leading you to a much better place, especially with that Wheel of Fortune, which is where you are right now. This is taking you somewhere else. This is starting a new chapter of your life. And I think that you are being presented with the opportunity here to do that very elegantly. Now let's get some oracle cards just to close off your reading. You really can't make these things up. As I said, it always surprises me. After reading tarot for so many years, it still surprises me. Healing chaos. It is a moment of healing. We have the Temperance, we have the Four of Swords here. It's a moment of healing for you, of absorbing the lessons, of integrating them. Allowing yourself to heal from whatever wounds were inflicted. And it can feel disheartening at times, as I said with the Moon, and healing chaos. But I don't think that you're sitting in chaos with the other cards here. Maybe for some of you it is harder to sit in stillness, but I feel like many of you are being able to go through this process with a lot of integrity and elegance. Not for you. If you are still attached to whatever happened here that came to an end, the thing that you're healing from. This is a confirmation that it was the right choice to let it go, because it was indeed not for you. So for me, this card just comes as a confirmation that yes, indeed, whatever ended here that caused you pain, whatever you're healing from, be it a person, a relationship, a situation, a pattern that you're starting to detach from, it was not for you. It was not meant to be part of you, of your life. It's okay to just let it go. I'm gonna take one more from the same deck. Co-create. And this is a very creative card. And we have been talking about that creative process that happens passively, right? And with co-create is how can you combine the passive part of your manifestation with the environment that is the active part. You're not doing it alone. You're co-creating it with the people around you, with the situations around you. And being receptive to it is your act of working with it and not against it. And let's get one last card for you. Yes, beautiful. Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Indeed, prosperity does lie ahead. What I've been saying with the Wheel of Fortune. You are moving there. It is very close. You're just still in that moment in which the wheel stops for a second. But once it starts moving, prosperity lies ahead. You are entering a new cycle of abundance and prosperity and nice things and good things and dreams and whatever you want to accomplish. Just have still a bit of patience to finish going through this. Okay, Cancer? So Cancer, this is all I have for you this month, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.